having clients that have traumatic changes, progressive conditions, or ones that are non-urgent needs, those are the three categories that every person falls into. So how can you age in place with those things being focused on? To address that, it's super important to be able to know which one you're falling into and then help you in that area. It's very hard to move into an assisted living or even an independent senior apartment to go from 3,000 square feet to not even 1,000 square feet. You have to get rid of everything. There's a lot of sentimental value to that, but you're used to how it is set up. You're used to having your belongings, and now you downsize, and so many people have falls in their first few days because they're just not used to it. They've been in their house for 30 years.
Yeah, the lack of familiarity creates a challenge. Welcome to the Living Well and Aging Smart podcast, the podcast for seniors who are currently, maybe with their families, navigating the next transition in their life, and hopefully doing so with a little bit of purpose, a little bit of wisdom, and a little bit of humor, maybe a lot of humor, because I think we get to where we're at today. You need to be a little bit more humorous. Here's the cool part, is every week we're going to discuss things that matter to those of us who are seniors. My name is Mitchell Schwartz, broker salesman's license 19845, Keller Williams The Marketplace. I am a certified senior advisor, a certified aging in place specialist, and a senior real estate specialist. And what that means to you is I get to help you discuss things that will improve your well-being. Things that might include housing, might include health, the scams to security and safety, and staying connected with one another, right? Here's the thing, it's not about just listings and sales. It's not about that. Every week, we discuss things that matter most to our clients, the senior community out there, things that will help you make the decisions about your life's transitions, about your aging in place, if that's what you want to do, and protecting your legacy. And guess what? From time to time, we'll talk real estate stuff too. Why? Because you need to have the best information to make the decisions for you as they come up, right? I'm also going to have people on here from week to week that are going to help you through stories and insights. And these are professionals who work in our community who very much care about the seniors they work with. So as we do that, thanks for being here. Let's get started on our episode today. I'm really looking forward to sharing this with you. So, April Grimaldi, Thank you so much for coming today. I think what you do for people is really powerful. You have a couple of different roles. We can talk about both of them. We can talk about one of them. And yet we know each other through working with seniors and helping each other. And why don't you give me just like a little bit about who you are, like maybe short and sweet about where you grew up, why you came here. And I'd really like to know what you did before you do what you do and why you chose to do what you do.
Well, thank you for having me. I was born and raised in Riverside, California. I moved out to Las Vegas, Nevada to go to UNLV and never went home. I have been here since. So you grew up in the Silver State.
You just lived up north? Is that what you said?
No, in Riverside, California.
Oh, I thought you said Reno for some reason. I don't know what I'm thinking.
No, Riverside, California. And I've been out here for 26 years now.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, I guess I'm from here now. I have to accept
right?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're in Las Vegas.
Yes. I graduated from UNLV, and then afterwards I went on to get my master's from Toro. My stepdad was a physical therapist, and back in the day before HIPAA was a big issue, you could take your kids to work. And so I went to work with him and literally just fell in love with it. Wanted to be a therapist ever since then. Like my yearbooks literally say, I'm going to be a therapist. I'm going to be a therapist. So
that's awesome.
That's been the path since then. And lo and behold, graduated from Toro and have been a therapist since 2008 now. So this is my 17th year practicing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's great.
Then a lot of insurance changes happened. And with all of the insurance changes, patients are getting discharged a lot sooner.
Right.
So decided to open my business 5 years ago. I opened multi-generational home modifications and with the goal of helping seniors to age in place. So we do home safety assessments and then provide occupational therapy services under Medicare Part B. So it's considered outpatient, but we come to them in their home because not all patients are able to get out of the home. So
That's true.
the ability to get and take my services to them is huge for our clients.
I would say so. And we're going to unpack some of that because I think it's real important. You said something about aging in place.
Mm-hmm.
So you and I are both what's called CAPS certified, CAPS,
Correct.
which means we have been certified by the National Home Builders Association as professionals who can advise on aging in place, right? Certified aging in place specialist. You're actually one of the instructors.
I am. Yes,
So-
I am. I actually have 2 certifications. I have the CAPS, and then I also have a certification from Age Safe America, which is Senior Home Safety Specialist.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yes.
So tell us about the whole choosing to go from being a physical therapist to actually maybe doing something a little different, because certainly advising somebody on what they can do to get themselves limber and maybe rehab from a surgery or an injury is different than living in their home long term.
It is. I'm going to correct you really quick. I'm an occupational therapist.
Okay.
So my stepdad was a physical therapist, but I kind of no disrespect to physical therapists, but I just felt like I was exercising every day, and I didn't feel like I was helping patients enough. So I went to school to be an occupational therapist, and our focus is helping them on their activities of daily living. So getting independent, safe, any type of adaptive equipment to help you be able to do your ADLs, getting dressed, going to the bathroom, taking a shower, on and off a toilet, being able to function in your home and making sure that you're strong enough to do that. So those are the things that an OT works on. As far as
1 second before you move on to that, I want to make sure everyone understands that the ADL actually stands for activities of daily life.
yes,
That's the thing.
daily living. Yeah.
How you live your life, getting up and out of bed,
Yep.
giving yourself a bath, making sure you can put food in your stomach,
Yes.
right? These are things that a lot of us take for granted, that as we age or as we get injured that have long-term ramifications, these are things that we need to be aware of, that if we're not thinking about that, we can put ourselves in jeopardy, right? And
Absolutely.
this is things, if you're an adult child watching this, these are the things you need to be looking out for with your parent, because these are the things that are going to cause it. Because an injury, that's a one-time deal, but being able to put on one's pair of pants without falling, that's a bigger deal.
And that, as we've both taken the CAPS course, that's one of the things that they're really big on is there's 3 segments that CAPS focuses on.
Right.
And having clients that have traumatic changes, progressive conditions, or ones that are non-urgent needs, those are the 3 categories that every person falls into.
Right.
So how can you age in place with those things being focused on to address that? It's super important to be able to know which one you're falling into and then help you in that area.
Yeah.
As far as, there was just a need. I'm still a therapist. I still see my patients. I still treat my patients.
Right.
But when you're doing home health or you're working at an inpatient facility, everything is like, okay, let's simulate this. Now you're done with rehab. Now go home. Take what you learned at rehab and go figure it out at home. It doesn't happen. Yeah, it doesn't happen. But then
I'm sort of clear of head, and I still struggle with that,
Yeah. But then when you're on home health, you only get so many visits and then you're discharged. So again, there's not that much of a carryover. So being able to still be a therapist, but carry over what I've been taught with my CAPS certification and my Senior Home Safety Specialist CAPS certification, I get to help clients age in place. It's very hard to move into an assisted living or even an independent senior apartment to go from 3,000 square feet to not even 1,000 square feet. Right. You have to get rid of everything. There's a lot of sentimental value to that, but you're used to how it is set up. You're used to having your belongings, and now you downsize. And so many people have falls in their first few days because they're just not used to it. They've been in their house for 30 years.
Yeah, the lack of familiarity creates a challenge. The good news is most of those places are built with the seniors in mind, of course, and at the same time, there's things that could be done differently.
Yes,
We
exactly.
both joke about that a lot. Like these places, oh, it's a senior community, really? Because it doesn't look like it to me.
Yes, yeah. The bars are way out here, and there's
Right.
no.
You got a lip on the shower.
Yes.
I mean, and no grab bars in even a remote location, and the toilets are all low. I mean, like, come on. Who really thought this through, or did they?
Yeah.
And no, you're wrong. A lot of the places I work with and send people to and all that actually are progressively getting closer to understanding to serve a senior takes just a little bit more.
A little more.
A little bit more.
Yeah.
So let's talk about aging in place. Tell me they want to stay home.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it feels to me because they generally are not prepared.
Mm-hmm.
It feels more like a pride thing. And I get it, right? My mom is 85. God bless her. She lives with me, thank God. And we've done things around the house. But she still fights for what she calls her independence.
Absolutely.
And the clients I talk to, I'm like, what's more independent? Living at home and a danger to yourself and being responsible for everything, or moving to a place where everybody takes care of everything and you have no responsibility and it's built for you. Now there's a median somewhere in between.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about what that aging in place is.
So the biggest thing is when the business comes out, multi-generational home modifications, to do the home safety assessment, that's what we're looking at. Are they still safe to be home? Or is it really a conversation that we need to involve the family and be like, you know what, they're not safe. You know, there could be a fire, they could fall, like they're adamant they're not putting a life alert on. There's so many things that can go wrong and they can seriously get injured. So I walk in when I do the home safety assessments, not saying everybody's going to stay home. There are going to be some clients that absolutely have to move. Aging in place, the biggest thing is safety. Safety is number one priority. And that's what we're looking at with every aspect. You know, how are you getting dressed? How are you preparing your meals? You know, when you're preparing your meals and you're sequencing through everything, are you still safe? Are you spinning in the kitchen 20 times just to get a plate and a dish and put it in the microwave after you put food on it from the fridge? You know, that can increase your chances of falling just right there because it's not sequenced properly. So those are all the things that we're looking at because the goal is to have them age in place because like you said, when they're in their familiar surroundings, it makes a huge difference versus moving into a facility and then some sort of forgetfulness starts to happen. Maybe they had dementia but haven't been diagnosed. You've changed their surroundings that they've been in for 30 years and now you have them move. It's such a huge difference.
Well, they know where the furniture is. They know where the flooring is. They know where the thing is in the cupboard. I get that part. And at the same time, and this is why when I go out to a client's house for the very first time, I actually just show up with a pad and paper.
I love that you do that.
Because this is not about selling their house.
Yeah.
For me, it's being a mission to let them live their best lives possible, right? And some of them, let's figure out a way. Because I asked that very first question. I'm like, if you could stay here safely, would you? And a lot of them are like, well, heck yeah. I'm like, and then I'm like, okay, so what is stopping you?
Right.
Explain to me the things that you see. And then I explain to them about our CAP certification, the things that I see that might be a little different than them. This is, again, for adult children. These are the questions that we should be asking.
Absolutely.
And it's not about really today, is what does their life look like in 3 years, 5 years from now? 8 years from now. As we age, anything that we have is exacerbated by the age.
Right.
So if we are struggling with movement for walking, occupational therapy is great. It's not going to replace the fact that you probably don't have the best balance in the world.
We can work on it though.
We
can definitely work on it. Physical and occupational therapy can definitely work on it to make it safer. Yeah, it will help.
But at the same time,
is it going to stop every fall? No.
And it's just, for me, it's not worth the risk. I can't see it. Right. It's funny because I already talked to my wife. I said, listen, when we move, we're going to bring Ample over to the house because I certainly can't do it. It's like a doctor performing on themselves. When we move, before we move in, I'm going to have her bring in, and we're going to talk about things that we can do now that will make it easier for the modifications when we get ready to actually start aging in place. So talk to us again. What kinds of things, like when a person is figuring out, well, should I stay or should I go? What kinds of things could somebody do, like just in a short interim, to make their life better in modification?
Safety first. You know, is your toilet the right height? How hard is it to get in and out of the shower? The furniture that you're sitting on, you know, we buy it when we're in our 20s and 30s and we have no mobility problems. Can you still get up from that low couch? Or is it time to buy something that is appropriate for your condition and your comorbidities? You know, looking at your flooring, Is it safe? Is it slippery? What's the type of shoes you're looking at? What's the clothing you're wearing? Getting on and off your bed. Do you need just a simple bed rail that will help you get up?
Right.
Or is your bed too high? You need to take the box spring off and just have the mattress on the bed frame. There's a lot of things that can be done. Not everything is grab bars.
Right.
Grab bars are great. Please make sure they're installed. No suction grab bars whatsoever.
Installed properly into the
stud.
The stud.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Gosh, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to somebody's house. Well, I got grab bars. Really? And I go over there and it goes jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. I said, yeah, that's one grip and a slip away from coming out in your hand.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that would be worse because you're not only falling, you're holding on to this piece of metal that's going to bonk.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
And I certainly wouldn't know any of my clients having to deal with that, but it can happen.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But literally just looking like we talked about their ADLs, the adult children that are helping their parents, ADLs is a huge thing. Even if they're moving into assisted living, that's what they're rated on.
Right.
So again, those are really important key factors. How are they functioning day to day? And don't go off of mom and dad told me I can do this. Have them show you they can do it, because they're going to tell you they can because they don't want to leave their home. Have them show you.
Of course. And I know those conversations are uncomfortable because I had them with my mom, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I look at it, what's more uncomfortable for me? Having a very direct conversation about her long-term safety, or having to see her suffer in a wheelchair, drooling into a cup for the next 5 years because I didn't have that conversation and she fell.
Exactly.
Oh my God, that would just crush me.
It would. And there's so many different devices nowadays that people can have in their homes to help keep them safe too. There's Alexas, there's life alerts that have fall detection on them. There's Apple Watches that have fall detection on them.
There's actually an Android one that pairs up as well, just like the Apple Watch, and it actually has fall detection. So if it hits the ground suddenly or whatever, all of a sudden it makes a call that it actually, somebody comes on and says, are you okay?
Yeah.
And if you say, nope, we all joke about I've fallen and I can't get up. That's some real stuff.
It is real. It's very real.
And so you're on the ground and you've fallen, and that or Alexa or somebody calls in and you say, yes, I need somebody to come look after me. It's not a...
Or you don't even respond is the other thing, because you hit your head.
God forbid.
Yeah.
But this is not in my opinion, this is, I understand the desire to be taking care of oneself, right? Mm-hmm. So when you're a baby, somebody does everything for you until you say, myself, I do it myself, I do it myself. And then we start letting you do it yourself. Well, what happens is gradually we get back to that place where you say, I really want to do it myself. But are we going to allow our pride to put ourselves in such a harm's way that we are willing to risk all the bad things that could possibly happen in exchange for what we perceive as independence, versus being willing to say, you know what, I'm going to acquiesce to that. And that's a conversation I have with my mom. I love her. And I'm like, Mom, I understand that you're used to doing things on your own. I'm here because I love you. You do these things all for me. And I'm going to help you. I will take you where you want to go, so you don't have to feel like you've got to drive. I will teach you, if you want to go to a hairdresser and I can't do it, how to use the Lyft app. I will do these things, make you dinner, bring your food, make sure your bed's changed, all of these things, because I love you. And if you really love somebody, those are the conversations you're going to have. You're really going to be really tough.
It's a very tough conversation, but it definitely needs to be had. The problem is when we have seniors that don't have family involved. So then who has that conversation? Sometimes we have to go out and do these home safety assessments, and there are very stern conversations about that. Like, this is A, B, and C, why I don't think you should be home anymore. Yeah. And, it doesn't take one conversation. It's a couple conversations. Absolutely. And then they fully start to understand, okay, you're right. I can't do this. I can't do that. Then I get it. But it helps to have family support, but not everybody does.
Right.
But it definitely is a conversation that has to be had sometimes.
Yeah. The part for me to hear is when people are making the decision based on money. Mm-hmm. I just think, oh my gosh. And unfortunately, and this is obviously, thank God, not everybody, but I do hear adult children being concerned about their inheritance. Mm-hmm. They don't come right out and say it.
In a roundabout way.
Yeah. Are you sure you should be able to live in that place that's going to cost you $7,000 a month, Mom? Well, yeah, it's only probably 2 years. I'm 87 already. And probably if I last 2 years, that's a long time. And at the same time, yeah, I should spend that $7,000. And I have $500,000 in my house. So let me take that out and I'll use that to offset my income. Then I can do this. Mm-hmm. And I can see the people's faces like, well, there goes all my money. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
It wasn't yours.
It wasn't yours. And your mom or dad or both deserve the best life possible because
Absolutely.
of who they have been. And so many of my clients are veterans, and they've been married. Some of them were married like forever, and then they lost a spouse, and they're used to leaning on that. And yet the kids should be the most support you get.
Yeah.
Right? It shouldn't be your neighbor saying, yeah, you should do this. It should be your kids.
Mhm.
They should be stepping up. And I get it. Not everybody has the ability to have their parent live with them. I'm very blessed I can, but a lot of people can't. So let's help them. I tell my mom all the time, because she's always worried about what she's going to leave me. And I'm like, Mom, first off, I make my own money. Secondly, if you die and on your very last day, you spend your very last dollar and you have a smile on your face,
That's what
God
matters.
knows, that's what
Yeah.
I want to happen for you.
Absolutely.
I love that. If I knew that, my heart would be whole and full, knowing that you got the best life possible for as long as you possibly could have it. And if I helped in that, even better.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's a tough conversation, but you're right. You know, the kids, and that's part of like the home safety assessment. And when I'm teaching the CAPS class, we're talking about that too. Are you cash rich? Are you house rich? Which one is it? And how is that going to help you? Or can we just do these modifications and you're safe to stay where you are?
Yeah.
Because assisted living and memory care, they're very expensive.
Sure they
And
are.
it's something that we have to talk about as well. So the home safety assessment, it's not just a quick, have this in your house, have that in your house. We're there anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on the size of the house and what needs to be addressed. And those are things that we're covering. You know, we're also covering getting in and out of the car because you got to make it to doctor's appointments.
Yep.
So the safety of that as well. So it's a very thorough assessment where a lot of things are covered.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's just as silly as, you need a walker.
Mm-hmm. And is the walker the right height? Because that makes a big difference.
Yeah, and if you're hunched over to the ground, a tall guy like me is not going to deal with your standard walker, right? I'm going to need something a little taller. But here's the other thing is, I personally think, and this is what I'm advising my clients, when you get to the place where you're applying for Medicare, which we're all obligated to do, we're required to do so once we hit our certain age, you don't get to opt out. You have to be on that, or else you start paying penalties.
Yeah.
But that being said, that should be the trigger to say, listen, do I intend on being in my house for the next 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
If I do, what things should I be anticipating and or building into the system? Because many of us still at 62 are still working, right? So we could do that, pay for the modifications now, even though they're not needed today. So in 3, 4, 5 years, or God forbid, we have an injury, we have those things in the home ready to go. That should be the trigger. 62 Medicare. I'm going to call April. I'm going to have her come out. She's going to give me the rundown. I'm going to pick the 10 things I can do today, and I'm going to slowly work on the other 10 things. So when I finally get there, I get another 10 years out of my house.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's so huge. And actually, that's why my business partner and I do senior health fairs, because we want seniors to be proactive in their care. Find out what's available in the community, because it's so much better to know what's out there versus having a traumatic change in your life and you have to hurry up and get services right away. And now you don't have time to research anything.
Yeah.
So it's super important to be proactive in your care. And not only that, if you've established that you need modifications in their home and you start working with them and you put those modifications in, now it's routine. It's part of your daily routine to hold on to the grab bar, to make sure you sit down, versus having a traumatic change. And now you've got to teach yourself at 70, 80 years old how to use something, where if you would have started, like you said, at 62, is it taking your independence away because you have a shower chair or grab bar? Absolutely not.
No.
It's making you more independent because you can still do those things. You're just doing it safer.
And you don't have to rely on somebody to do them for you.
Exactly.
Which is the polar opposite of being independent.
Yeah.
Right? And cool. So if you look at this in just a proactive point, like I mentioned, the 62 trigger, if you were to say there are probably 4 or 5 highlights today that if a person's sitting there going, not sure if I should or shouldn't move, and obviously the pros and cons, but I'm thinking I would like to stay here longer.
Okay.
What are the 5 things that somebody could do immediately without busting the bank and set themselves up for success?
Absolutely. So you definitely need night lights. We all have to get up and go to the bathroom. I'm not a senior, but I do get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Definitely night lights, motion censored night lights. You need to make sure that there are no rugs in the home. I mean, I understand you need a rug when you get out of the shower. You don't want to slip on the floor. Then do what we call the twist test. Put your foot on the rug, twist your foot. If the rug bunches up, it's got to go. It needs a better backing on it. Rugs, night lights. Making sure that you're safe with your ADLs. So when you're going to get ready in the morning, do you have somewhere to sit down? Because we don't need to stand like a flamingo on one leg trying to put our pants and our shoes on.
Yep.
We're past that age. Like, let's just sit down and make it
I stopped
safer.
doing that at 35. I'm like so lazy. I just put them on while I'm sitting down.
Exactly. Super important. What does the bathroom area look like? Do you need any type of equipment in the toilet or in the shower or over the toilet? Those are quick fixes. They don't cost very much money. And definitely putting grab bars in, but please make sure it's somebody that knows what they're doing. ADA is there as a guideline for suggested heights and placement, but because it's in your home, it doesn't have to be. So having a therapist come out and assess where the proper location to be for the grab bars is super important.
Yeah, those are great tools. So making sure that there's lights that are going to come on based on motion sensor.
Yes.
Yeah, and you can get the kind that just plug into an outlet.
Yeah, super
you
cheap.
could have the other stuff changed out if you want. And I would recommend if you're going to do one, do the other. So when you walk into the living room, lights should come on. When you walk in the kitchen, lights. Bathroom, any room in the house, stuff should come on.
Absolutely.
Automatically, you're not fumbling around. Then the flooring thing, right? Making sure that there's no area rugs that are going to cause hazards.
Mm-hmm.
So hard surfaces are the best.
Hard surfaces are good, but just be mindful there should be a coefficient friction factor on the flooring, 0.06. Because what happens is like tile or marble is super slick. And if we're older, we don't have the balance. So there needs to be some sort of friction on the flooring that's there.
And I'm glad you clarified that because a lot of people will say, well, I got Pergo, I got laminate. That is like walking
Put
on
some water on it and there you go.
Done. Exactly. And I'm sorry, I shake too.
Yeah. So there goes everything on the floor.
Exactly. You're done.
The dog drools, anything.
Right? Or drips from the water dish. And then you talked about the bathroom things, making sure that we're good there. And I think that the grab bars are great. And I think they work out really kind of cool. But then make it the little thing about the toilet height. Those are very small things. Someone could conceivably probably do all these few things that we just talked about for $1,800 to $2,000 in their house or less.
Completely. Absolutely. It's doable. And it would be way less than that.
Yeah. Way less than that.
Yeah.
And so if you're thinking about this at all, I strongly urge you give April a call, make sure you have all her information, but you should give her a call. She'll come out, she'll give you an assessment and well worth the energy of time, ridiculously cheap in price. If you ask me, I mean, you can't put a price on somebody's safety anyways. And then the choice is only, do we do this on our own, which I don't recommend.
No.
Or do you hire somebody very inexpensively who understands this process easily, does it consistently so you get the best possible outcome?
Absolutely. And it's huge. It's very huge because like I said, we're going throughout the whole entire house. We're not just looking at one area. If you hire a contractor, they're just coming in and putting bars in your bathroom and walking out the door. They're not looking at your whole entire house. We're looking at your whole house because that's where you're at every single day. So super important. It's not one visit. We come out, we give you a report. We're there for a long time, an hour and a half to 2 hours. After the report is done, I work with a contractor so the contractor can go out and make those modifications. Right. I go back with the contractor to make sure that the things are installed properly because unfortunately, Vegas houses aren't built how they should be. No. So, and not only that, once a person sits on a toilet or a shower, everybody's body structure is different. You know, they might have problems with their shoulders. So the bars can't always be in a place that they would just say ADA put it here. Right. So it's super important. And the recommendations isn't a one size fits all. You can't put grab bars for everybody in the same place. Yeah. So if you have somebody that's just a contractor coming out to do it, it might not be beneficial because you don't know what the client's medical conditions are. And that's what we need to look at is their medical conditions so that we can make sure it's done and it's going to last them for a while. Not let's put it in today and tomorrow it's not going to work at all.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the difference between a contractor who understands that and one who's not. I think there are two in town that are actually CAP certified like you and me. And that's who I would call. I mean, it's simply that. And it's like the difference between a person who's an OT who focuses on seniors and working with their ADLs and things like that versus just regular OT. And that's fine. There's no harm in being an OT. The difference is the person who is the expert at what you have or what you need. And me being a senior real estate agent, there's plenty of real estate agents out going, yeah, I can sell a house for a senior, but guess what? They need a lot more than just somebody sticking a sign in the yard, right?
Exactly.
So these are the reasons why I wanted you to come here, because I want people to understand, yeah, you can call your cousin who's a contractor,
Right.
and he will put it in per ADA, which is fine if he's working on an office building, because that's what you need.
Right. It's a public place has to be
Right.
ADA. Yep.
But if in your own home, it should
Does
be
not.
adapted for you.
Exactly.
Only you.
Yeah.
Right? And that's the difference. So what's the last thing that everybody should hear about this conversation? So moving forward, they're making better choices.
I think being proactive in your health, like in your life, like be proactive, know what's available out there. Don't wait until something happens, because then it's last minute and you're literally rushing around just to get services in place.
Right.
Stay active in your life, be proactive in your health, and call us for a home safety assessment.
And you said 2 times, don't run around in haste, basically.
Yes.
And I've discovered a long time, if you run around in haste, you wind up spending more money and you make mistakes, because you're making the decision from portions of the information based on the necessary to be expedient.
But even just the urgency, that's why you're making the decision, is because of the urgency.
Yeah. So don't put yourself in that spot.
Yeah.
Like I said, 62, I'm going on Medicare. Let me figure it out. Let me have somebody come over. You don't have to tear out your kitchen or your bathroom, but there's things you could do today that when you need it, you're going to be going, boy, this is really smart. I'm glad that Mitch said that I should do this. I'm glad April came over.
Yeah. And one thing to know too is some of this can be covered by insurance. Insurance will not cover the modifications, but they will cover the home safety assessment. Obviously, there's rules and every scenario is different.
Sure.
So you should call and we can explain that over the phone. But that's definitely, if insurance is going to pay for it, use your benefits, make yours safe at home.
Yeah, you paid for it. You might as well take advantage of it, right? Yeah,
exactly.
I totally agree. And I get it. Some are looking at, gosh, man, I really need to modify and it's going to cost me $50,000. Well, then that's the decision. Mm-hmm. That's a decision. And that's where you want to work with your family, work with April, work with me, and other people who are objectively going to go, you're probably better off going here.
Yes.
And this is going to be much safer for you. I know you don't like the idea of that. And once you get there and you get settled, you'll actually love it. I don't know a single person who I've helped move into an independent or an assisted, or even some of the people I've helped get into skilled nursing. They had their best lives towards the end.
Yeah.
Because they had full care. Less stress.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about the roof. I don't have to worry about the floors. I don't have to worry about cooking. Don't do any of that.
And it's not us just coming out to do a home safety assessment and me being a therapist. Like, I have a ton of people that I've networked in the community, and I know different resources that are available. So if the goal is for you to stay at home, I know people that can come out. There's grants for people that will come out and help you with other things.
Sure.
There's different companies that can come out and change your air filters, put salt in the water softeners. So, that we're more than just the home safety assessment. 100%. We're resources. So that makes a big difference.
And if you get to the place where you're thinking you want to move, I work very closely with a nonprofit senior placement agency. Mm-hmm. We'll have them in here soon, the Senior Resource Nevada. That's what
absolutely.
They do. They they're a nonprofit, and they will help find a place that meets your needs. And basically, again, it's about conversations they have with April. It's about conversations they have with me, certainly you and your family, and then the locations. And then they find the matched up location that's best for you. Because it's not cookie cutter.
No.
And everybody likes a different flavor of where they live. And I think that's really important. So really
absolutely.
Cool. I can't tell you enough how much I appreciate this. And I love the fact that we're working on business together, because we have a strong urge to serve seniors at a high level. And I like that we're connected like this, because I truly believe that over the course of the next several years, we are going to move mountains for people. We really are. Because as they start to getting educated, think about how much better choices they're going to make for their lives. And the better choices means better lives.
Absolutely.
Longer living. I mean, if I left my mom in a independent living, which was fine, she still goes and visits her friends. But if I left her there, is it possible that her life could have been cut short versus getting another 2 or 3 years out of my mom by having her close by?
Yeah.
And that for me is important. Make the decision that's going to give you the best time possible.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much.
No, thank you so much. And, if you need a home safety assessment, call Multi-Generational Home Modifications. Yep. The number is 702-660-1140. Or you can go on our website, which is www.multigenmods.com.
Yeah, we'll make sure everybody has all that information. There'll also be a page on my website and all that fun stuff, because I want to make sure that people take advantage of this opportunity.
Be proactive.
Be proactive. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
You have a wonderful day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you for being here on today's Living Well and Aging Smart podcast. It's never too late to transition in your life and take the next step in aging through clarity, through confidence, and certainly with a great community that cares about you. If today's episode resonated at all with you and you got questions, feel free to call me up directly. I'm on my cell phone, 702-303-0040. You can reach out to me personally. Go to my website, seniораssistanceteam.com. You could also, if you want, click the link in the description and say, hey, I'd like to schedule a free 15-minute phone call with you. Just to chat and ask whatever question you got. That's why I'm here. Feel free to reach out. But if you got something out of this, or you think somebody else would, subscribe to this, leave a comment or a question, share it with a friend. Those are things that would be very helpful. Thank you again so much for being here. Until then, all I'm asking you to do is stay safe, stay smart, live well, and age smart. I hope to talk to you real soon and look forward to seeing you in the next podcast.